what you have on your website is your purpose now and your legacy, which is wanting to really give the world emotional optimism. And for someone who's unfamiliar with that word, because I have to tell you, before I started listening to your podcast and learning more about you, and her podcast is called Emotional Optimism. It's a great podcast, so please check it out. What does it mean, and what led you to that being your calling?
It's a great question. Thank you, John. And I happen to have a sweatshirt on just because I was cold today. So for me, emotional optimism is actually the opposite of another buzzword called toxic positivity. Toxic positivity is, you know what, you had a terrible morning, but it's all good. It's going to get better. Toxic positivity is, yes, we just had to let 20 people go, but don't worry, you're safe. Like toxic positivity is devoid of reality, I think. Emotional optimism for me is the reason that I put the word emotional first is because of what I said earlier, which is every single one of us, unless we are robotic, have emotions that are going through our bodies and our minds 25 times a day, much more than that, right? And emotions are data. They're literally signposts for us to say, Mayday, Mayday, I'm getting triggered up here. Mayday, Mayday, I'm getting angry over here. I feel happy over here. The emotional part is, when I say emotional optimism, it's not to negate or to shove your emotions away or to pretend that that never happened. It's to identify what your emotions are telling you as data, as information, and then also be able to see the hope, the positivity, the possibility. Because it's one thing to be able to say, yeah, I'm really hopeful. I'm a glass full type of girl, which I am. But I also want to tell you that I am, I have a dear friend that is suffering with terminal cancer right now. And that gives me a lot of emotions, and I'm really upset about that. And I still have a lot of hope. And I'm still going to get up tomorrow morning. And I'm still going to take a crack at life. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to forget him and forget how I feel when I think about him, So the reason that it came to me, and that's a question that actually no one's really asked me, is first and foremost, I'm an emotional person. My parents used to tell me, I think too much with my heart. They'd say, Claude, you think too much with your heart. When are you going to start thinking with your head? And I used to think, wow, there's something wrong with me. Like, I don't know how to think with my head. I don't know what they're talking about. Like, maybe there's this missing chip in my brain. It wasn't a great feeling to have, but I couldn't help the fact that I felt deeply about things as a real empath. And I saw a shaman, believe it or not. He was also a psychotherapist, but he went as shaman when I was living in London. And he looked like Gandalf. He had an Austrian accent, like Freud or Jung, with a long beard. And he looked at me and I thought, wow, that's it. That sums it up. He said, you're the only person I've ever met that can be inside of a coffin and still see the light. And it was so profound. And what he meant, what I feel like he meant by the coffin is I can hold a lot of emotion for people. I can hold space for people. And I also know that I don't have to have the answers, that it's not about me, and then I can be a passenger and ride shotgun with people in their journey. And to me, you put all that together, and I think that's really what an emotional optimist is all about. It's the ability to feel your feelings. You know that you have the ability to change them or adapt with them and move forward.